Hey, good morning.
And how you doing?
Doing well today. Doing fairly well today.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, this is the third and the final of sessions.
Yes, yeah, because we've been doing this for seems like a month, but
Right.
it's only been 3 weeks.
It's only been a couple of weeks, but I think this is probably the most exciting, at least for me, of all the topics. So for people who haven't gotten caught up, we started talking about healing, why it's important to heal before you get on the dating journey. So that was our first session. And then our second session was more around self love, what that means, and why it is the foundation for you to be able to attract love into your life. And then today, we're going to be sharing some actual strategies and practical tips that you might want to use to be able to attract your dream man. So, super, super excited for today's topic. It's right up my
Yeah, that's
wheelhouse.
what I was going to say. This is your wheelhouse. This is
This is what I'm truly passionate about. And, I want to make sure that we share as much as possible to be able to at least guide people on this journey. So, started with some brief introduction. So, my name is Joan. If we haven't met before, I'm a dating and relationship coach specifically for divorced women over 40. I help them get back into the dating world and navigate this craziness and be able to attract their second chance love and have a beautiful, fulfilling relationship going forward. Mhm. Intro, intro.
Oh, yes. So I'm Elmira. I'm actually a self-care coach and I help women get over their ex. And I do that through self-care, self-love, teaching practical ways to open up your heart again. And my biggest thing is movement. Like you have to move your body. And I teach all of that from my many years of experience as a massage therapist.
Mhm. And I think it's so beautiful. So the reason why Elmira and myself came together to offer the masterclass, which we're going to talk about later next week, is because it's an entire process, right? Even though, yes, I focus on teaching people how to date, but there's a prerequisite. You have to have healed, you have to have self-love, you have to do those things that make you ready to be able to embrace the things that I now teach for you to be able to go out into the world and attract the right kind of person that it is you're looking for. So if you haven't heard about the masterclass, well, it's called Get Out of Your Own Way. It's happening next week, Saturday. Can't believe it's already here. So it's a 3-hour virtual masterclass, and it's for anyone who's ready to take that next step into attracting the type of dream relationship that they want. And specifically, it's for people who've been through some significant relationship, who've gone through a heartbreak or through a divorce or marriage or whatever it is, and are now ready. So if you want to learn the 5 steps to be able to attract your dream man in 2024, then you don't want to miss it. You want to sign up, go register, go register for the
Yes,
masterclass.
come to the class.
It's gonna be phenomenal. Can't wait, can't wait, can't wait. Okay, so let's jump into today's topic. So today is all about practical steps to attracting your dream man. And I'll just kick this off. A lot of people, they just think, just introduce me to the man. That's all that matters. Show me the man and I can do the rest. But the truth is, it's not about just showing me the man. It's easy to just meet anybody, male or female. The goal here is for you to be able to have a healthy, fulfilling relationship, one that really aligns with your values and who you truly are. And that brings us to the very first step, which is really, what do you want? Who
Mm.
are you and what do you really want? What do you really desire from a partner? You need to have that clarity first before you start jumping into the dating world or asking people to introduce you. So getting clear on who your ideal partner is so key. Honestly, a lot of us, especially people who got married pretty early, we didn't even know ourselves. So chances are you made decisions to marry a person based off of maybe your parents thought it was a good match, or maybe society just said, hey, all men are the same, so just pick this one. But now that you've been given a second chance, like a do-over, to do it properly, the first step is really going to figure out who you truly are, what it is that you truly desire, what will make you happy. Because what will make you happy is probably not what will make me happy, right? So really getting that clarity and being able to identify what your ideal man looks like is the first step. And we're going to be covering that in depth during the masterclass. What do you think,
I
Elmira?
want to, yeah, I want to add something to that because a lot of time, and you mentioned it briefly, if we get married younger or get in a relationship in our 20s, what have you, we didn't have a clear picture of what we desired. And sometimes even as even when we're exploring this second chance, we don't have a clear picture because we look to outside influences to tell us what we want. So when it comes to mapping out that picture and identifying the characteristics, make sure you know what meshes with you, because that was something I had to explore because I thought, because I'm artistic and creative and a musician and massage therapist and all these great things, I needed somebody just like me. But that was untrue. Once I started doing the self exploration, I was like, no, I actually need a man like this. I'm gonna be more beneficial. So I would caution people as you're making your list or you're crafting
Mhm.
this person, really make it in tune with you and what would benefit you, what would be most healthy for you, what would make you flourish, what would make you grow.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. And most of the time, especially for people who are serial daters or people with serial relationships, people usually go with what is familiar, right? But what is familiar has led to the results that you have today. So if you want to do things differently, you have to do things differently. If you want different results, you got to
Exactly.
do things differently. So again, just getting that clarity is all about introspection. It's about really being guided on how to come up with that list, not a list that you think should work, but a list that actually works for you. So anyways, I don't want to go too much. Go register for the masterclass. It's free. And in there, we'll really get into how you can come up with that list of what it is that truly lights your soul up and can give you that healthy, fulfilling relationship. So let's just move on to the next thing. So let's just assume now, so you have your ideal man list, you're good, you're like, okay, this person will align with who I am. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is, you know what you want, but you're in your house. Like you're just waiting for him to like come and ring the door. Like, like he's coming. No, he's not coming. He's not coming, right? So once you know you're ready, you've healed, you've done all the things that we've been talking about the last few weeks. The second step is really to put yourself out there. You have to be seen, right? You have to figure out what is the best way, what will give me a higher and better chance of meeting this person that I've been able to identify for myself. So I have my preferences, but I'll let Elmira give us some tips on where can women find love these days.
For me, it's going to a variety of places. Of course, we have online, and some people are afraid of the online thing, but I say don't be afraid of that because it gives you options. As you stated, we have to be seen. Where are people looking these days? They're looking online. We are on our phone, our computer, the majority of the times of the day. So why not explore these options? And now there's stuff out here like not just the apps.
Mhm.
There's things like the Kendra G dating show. You have these pop the balloon shows
Mhm.
surfacing. It's so many options, and in your city there's meetups, there's all kinds of things. And my suggestion too, go to events you already enjoy. For example, if you like yoga, you like live music, you like pottery, whatever it is, the man you like will be there because y'all will
At least you
have
have some similar
similar interests.
interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. A lot of people are so scared of the whole online dating, but again, it's just one option. It's just one platform, right? And it helps you to be able to filter very, very quickly. It helps you like see thousands and thousands of people, and then you can also filter. And maybe it will help again for you to refine that list. But whatever it is, even if you don't want to do online, please go to events, go to meetups, go to activities, pick up a sport that you actually might enjoy or a new hobby. Do things of similar interest so that the person that you're meeting, you already have some commonality that you can start
Hmm.
to bond on. one thing I want to say is there's also, you can be seen, but how are you being seen, right? So being able to make sure that, my mother used to call it comport yourself when I was younger. You have to comport yourself. So knowing how to comport yourself in the right way is also very, very key, because you can be in a space where your ideal man is there, but if you're not a certain way, if you don't have a certain or a certain energy, you're not going to be able to attract him. And even if you went on a date, depending on how you show up, depending on the kind of conversations, depending on your energy, you might not be able to move forward with that relationship. So he might check all your boxes, but the connection is not just there. So being seen is one, but how are you being seen? How are you showing up?
Mm.
What type of conversations? Are you going there with negative energy to talk about your ex and how every man you've met is all crappy and shitty and all of that stuff? Right? Or you're just taking control, you're being very, very argumentative, you're questioning, it's like an interview session, or you just like, you got to chase me, I'm going to play hard to get. So there's just so many things around the how you show up. But the first thing is, you got to be willing to show up. Let's get that out of the door first. You got to be willing to show up. Then the second step is, how do you show up? How do you position and present yourself in the best way to be able to attract these kind of men that we're talking about? So again, go sign up for the masterclass. We're just giving you very high level today. Go register for this masterclass, because we're going to go deep. We're going to uncover all the stuff that's been holding you back and really empower you to be able to go ahead and flourish and attract your dream man this year, 2024, not next year.
Yeah, you can do it this year. Yes.
it's, it's happening. Okay. So let me know. Let's know in the comments, what are your thoughts? What are some of the experiences that you've been having? What are you doing to meet people these days? How are you showing up? What is your go-to? Like when I was I'm a big fan of online dating, so that was always my go-to. And I actually had very specific outfits that I'll wear on dates, because
Really?
they, like, honestly, like, they all look the same, like the same style, but just different colors, right? But I always had a look that I went on my dates with, because I'd figured over time, this was the look that always made me feel the most feminine. So I was a little bit more relaxed, and I'd always get complimented on, oh, wow, you're very stylish. It wasn't revealing at all. Right, and it just worked. So I found what worked for me dress wise. But again, that's just the physical. So you take the box on the physical, but then there's still other things. How do you relax? How do you speak? How do you ask questions? Are you on your phone? Like, there's just so many nuances to the dating game. But again, let's know in the comments what's working for you, what hasn't worked, what are some of the experiences, what's some of the things that you're seeing that are happening out there in the dating world today, before we move on to the next tip. So Elmira, what was your own experience when you were single and searching?
Okay. I focused a lot on taking myself out. Like that was my number one thing, because I would meet guys at these places, and we would end up on a date. I remember this one instance. I had gone to a comedy show by myself, dressed nice. You talk about you had your like signature outfit.
Mm-hmm.
I was dressed real nicely and ended up sitting beside this guy. And we talked, he was there alone too. And
Okay.
we ended up on a date, so to speak. So a lot of my experiences were in person, because I don't mind talking to people if I'm there alone, what have you. And turns out with that particular comedy show night, we talked the entire night and shut the club down. They had turned the lights on. It's like, okay, okay, mister, y'all have to leave. I never saw that guy again, but it was still a date. It was still a
Yeah.
wonderful date.
Mm-hmm.
My experience was be yourself wherever you go, because they attract. And this was a great gentleman. He just happened to live in another state and had driven up for the show, the comedy event. But
Wow.
I would have all kinds of stuff like that. That was just one instance
That's
happened to
awesome.
me.
Yeah, and that's awesome. And that kind of goes back to what we're saying. Make sure you're putting yourself out there. Not necessarily, okay, I'm going out on the prowl, I'm going hunting tonight, but just do things that you enjoy and just be yourself. I think that's something it ties into what Love Glam is just saying, that people don't look like their photo. Why wouldn't you look like your photo if you're still going to meet the person? Blows my mind. It's the same way people lie about their age, they lie about the work. It's just weird. People, you have to be authentic. Show up as your authentic self. Don't go putting up photos, extra filtered photos or photos from 20 years ago. Just don't do that, right? And I know we started to talk about you attract what you are. And so if you find that you're attracting certain kind of people, it means go check yourself. Go see what's happening with you. You might not even be aware, but go see what's happening with you. But as a person, make that decision, that conscious decision, that you're going to show up as your authentic self. You're going to put your most recent photos. They still have to look nice. They just put whatever, you just crawled out of bed. But it has to be a true reflection of what you look like today. Be authentic every step of the way. A person who is attracted to you will be attracted to you. You don't have to pretend to be anything else.
That's an excellent point because they're gonna like you regardless, and we don't have to put on the filters or let me make my face look slimmer or all of
All
this
right.
stuff. Just be yourself.
Just be yourself. Just be yourself. So I think for me, the last thing I want to touch on today is engaging, right? So when you meet somebody like you did, you sat beside a gentleman, or you go out on a date with someone, how you engage is so, so key. The type of conversations that you choose to have, right? I know that a lot of successful women struggle with being able to attract masculine men. And again, because you've worked so hard, you've accomplished so much, there's this thing about not necessarily bragging, but just using that as a talking point to talk about all the things that you've accomplished. I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer, I have a PhD, I have a that, I have a that. Well, the problem with that is masculine men love feminine women. You might say it's not fair. Okay, fine, but that's the way energies just work, right? Like polarity. So if you find that you're a driven, ambitious woman, which is great, when you go on dates, you have to be extra cautious to make sure that you're not putting that front and center, that masculine energy is not what is in his face. Because a masculine man would just retreat. He would just be like, this is not for me. He might not even be able to know why exactly, but he would just be like, okay, she just seems like too much, right? And I'm sure a lot of ladies, you've heard men describe you as, she's too much, she's a bit much, right? So being able to engage correctly and properly so that they're not minimizing yourself, but you're just showing the part of you that is most attractive to masculine men, so that you can get the next date and the next date and the next date. Over time, of course, he will get to see that you're strong, independent, hardworking. Yeah, those might be qualities that he might also admire in you. But in the beginning, most masculine men prefer more feminine women who kind of stay more on their nurturing side, their listening side, not the boss lady energy, the controller, the one who's constantly
You said
attacking.
boss
Like, no, I don't
lady.
agree. I don't agree with that. No, I don't think so. You constantly arguing, and I know some ladies, you probably heard it. You're a bit too aggressive, a bit too argumentative, you're a bit too. So those are the things. It doesn't mean don't have an opinion. It's more of the how you say it, waiting for the right time to be able to lead certain conversations, not constantly wanting to drive the conversation and be this, well, I'm all that and a bag of chips. You should be so lucky I'm on a date with you. How's that working out for you? Like, how's that working out for you? And again, because I have to say this, no one taught me any of these things growing up. So we all kind of just grew
Me
up in this
either.
survival instinct because there's nobody. So you just got to take care of yourself, right? So a lot of women, we're just hustling and trying to get our act together. And now you've created this very masculine energy around you because yes, it's worked in the professional world, but when it comes to dating and relationships, it becomes a bit of a struggle. So now it's how do you create that balance? How do you know when to show up more in your masculine and when to show up in your feminine? What does that look like? Being aware, being able to catch yourself, right? But again, come to the masterclass if you want to learn more about feminine and masculine energy and how that might be holding you back.
Yes, because we're going to be sharing all of these goodies for you on next Saturday. Because sometimes we don't. like you said, Joan, we're not aware we're making these mistakes or these errors in conversation with men, with masculine men. We just don't know because it's our normal mode of operation is to be, oh, I got to be the boss lady because I'm bad at work. So let me just transition that to my dating too.
Yeah,
It doesn't
yeah.
work.
It just doesn't work. It doesn't work. And like I'm a big fan of the reality dating shows, and every time I see, it's always so funny how, because the thing is, masculine women, and again, don't take this as your manly. It has nothing to do with that. It's just energy, right? So masculine women want to attract masculine men, but masculine men don't want masculine women. Feminine men, again, has nothing to do with gender, just feminine men. So men who are a bit more relaxed, who want a woman to take charge, love the masculine women. But the masculine women don't want the feminine men. But the masculine women keep
Exactly.
attracting the feminine men. So what happens? And you can check with all those reality shows. So the masculine women, they're very successful, very, very in control, got her act together, keeps attracting the feminine men. And then these men will say all the things they want to hear. Oh, I'm a masculine man. I take charge. I do all of it. And then they don't. And then the masculine women keep trying to change the men. You can't change anybody. If you're going into a relationship thinking that he's going to be a project and I'm going to change him and mold him into what, just stop. You cannot change anybody. You need to go and
Sure
be clear
can.
on what it is that you want. Who do you need to be able to attract that kind of person? How do you need to show up? How do you need to nurture the relationship to be able to have what it is that you want? Don't go thinking you can change anybody. So check yourself. If you find that you keep attracting feminine men, so men who don't want to, who are okay to not taking charge, who just, it's fine, you be the boss, and you don't like that, stop. There's something about you that is attracting those kind of men. But it's always interesting for me to see, because I see all the very, very, ambitious women. They keep attracting these men, and then they're frustrated. Why don't you do more of this? Why can't you take? But he never lied. Like, he was never that. Then you think he's a
Yeah,
project.
isn't it
I'm going to
true?
change him. I'm going to fix him. I'm going to inspire him. He doesn't want to be inspired by your life. Your success, he's not interested. Like, he's not with you. He's not. He's not like, oh my God, she's so entrepreneurial. She's so ambitious. I can learn from her. No, he's cool how he is. Like, he's happy where he's at.
Doing his thing.
Like, he's like, good for you. You want to run 20 businesses. Good for you. Yeah, leave me out of it.
Right. He's like, I don't want any parts. I don't want any parts of this.
I'm not, yeah, he's good. He's good. So if you're one of the women, and I used to be that, who's constantly attracting projects, we need to stop that. We are not, exactly. We're not the help,
Like
and
the help of
we're not
fixing
therapists. We're
hospital.
not, none of that. None of that. So yeah, so do come to the masterclass. Let's talk about these things and make sure that you're able to identify the patterns, like the things that are holding you back, some of the narratives, the limiting beliefs that are making you do these things unconsciously, because you're unconsciously attracting these people. But again, it goes back to you. There is something about you, inside of you, that maybe you haven't healed from, that is putting you at that position where you're attracting these kind of people. So we're going to be taking care of that. We're going to make sure that you're able to identify, you're able to show up, you're able to have the right conversations, you know where to meet the right people, all of that stuff. You know how to communicate effectively, you know how to nurture relationships, right? Because this year, healthy, happy, fulfilling relationships, not just in a relationship, no, healthy, happy, fulfilling relationships. That's the goal. Yeah, and it's possible. Okay. Anything else you want to share? I think today I've done a lot of talking, because this is my passion. If you can't tell, this is what I'm passionate about. This is
Yeah,
it.
I think probably the only other thing I would share is because we're talking about attraction, and I stated one of my stories. Once I owned who I was and I was comfortable in my own skin and I
Yeah.
loved myself and I was going out just being free and fun and quirky and all of that and just having lighthearted conversation, the men just came to me. Like I would just go anywhere and they would sit down or do this or talk to me or ask me a question or give me a compliment. So it does happen. Like the attraction happen. You don't have to go out seeking. Even on apps, if you're online, the same is true online. You will notice when you are firm in yourself, you love yourself, you've done the healing,
Mhm.
the men will come to you. You won't have to be frustrated and saying, "Oh, there's nobody out here." You'll have so many options. It'll be like, "Where did these guys come from?" Because it's you. That's why we've called it "Get Out of Your Own Way." I know it was me standing in my way until I made the choices, until I did the healing to get in this space. I didn't see the men. I didn't see that quality of men. I was like, why are all these men acting like this? And it wasn't true because the other types of men that I desired were out there.
Yeah, they're there. And I think that's a fabulous way for us to end today's session. There's no scarcity of men or women. They're out there, right? Whatever it is you're looking for is available, is out there, but you have to do the work on yourself to be able to attract those kind of people. You're deserving of it. It's available. And most times, honestly, it's not hard work. It's not like you need to change so many things about you. No, you just have to catch it up and be aware and just do the inner work and just love yourself, right? And just be in that energy of abundance, of gratitude, and you would effortlessly attract the men. And it's true. Like I had exactly the same experience. And I'll tell you one final thing. So I used to be bigger. When I say bigger, like I used to be way big, double my size, like way, way big. Like I'm talking 60,
Really?
70 pounds heavier than I am today. And at no point did my weight impact the type of men I was meeting. So I know some people say, oh, if I looked a certain way, I would attract. No, you wouldn't. Like, it's not how you look. Yeah, you may attract physically men who, for casual, whatever, but the real men who are looking for something serious, it is your energy that they are attracted to. I always say men read energy. We're the ones, women, who we go by whatever we're hearing. We just fall. Men are constantly reading your energy.
Hmm.
So while you're trying to fix the outside and look a certain way, good, yeah, but it's the inside. It's what's on the inside. It's the energy on the inside. Once you're able to fix that, you will attract men effortlessly, regardless of what you think you look like or whatever flaws you have. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Love yourself. Be confident in who you are. Show up the right way. Show up with the right mindset, the right energy, and you will attract these men. Guaranteed.
Yes. I say a yes, a wholehearted yes to that.
So yes. So it has nothing to do with your looks, has nothing to do, yeah. It does absolutely not. Anyhow, so please go and sign up for the masterclass. It's masterclass.datingwithjoan.com. I will put it in the caption and the comments. If you haven't registered, please go ahead, join our Facebook group, and let's just get the conversation going. Come expectant, come with an open mind. A lot of the things you're going to be hearing, maybe you haven't heard it before. Maybe they trigger you. If you're triggered, it means that there's something that needs to be fixed inside of you. So I just say, come expectant, come with an open mind and be ready, be willing, knowing that it is possible for you. Because if you don't believe it's possible, then it's not possible. Whatever you believe is true for you. So as you show up to the masterclass, know that you are deserving, it is possible, and you will have your dream man this year. Any final words, Amara?
That's it. You said it all. You said it all. I'm just excited to share next week, like the healing piece and the self love and the self care, because that's my like helping people overcome this like the past
Yeah.
stage, like and then get ready,
Yeah.
get ready for the relationship.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Ogechi. It's going to be a swell time. I'm so excited. So thank you everyone for joining us this week. This is not our live IG session ever, but for the series, for the masterclass, this is it. So we will think about other things that we can do just to keep the conversation going. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the comments, for engaging, and we will see you at the masterclass next week.
Bye. Okay, bye everybody.